Hey, what's up everyone? It's Georgia, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber. And just a quick little announcement, I have my own Teespring store where you can buy some cool gear from the channel at very affordable prices. We now have mugs and iPhone cases. So check that out and let's get into this video. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm here to talk about the WWE, SummerSlam 2019 pay-per-view. And while I'm very excited about everything that happened on this show, I'm very pissed off too, because the stupid WWE Network app, it kept buffering. Despite me having good internet, this app still has problems no matter what device I use. And this has been a reoccurring problem with their app. I don't know what I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. It's funny because I don't have this much problems at all, with other, streaming apps. Netflix, when I had it, didn't give me many problems at all. YouTube, in terms of watching videos, I don't have that many problems with that either, but the problem is right now is that it made it very difficult to watch certain parts of the pay-per-view. But you know what, as you guys have been seeing with the previous pay-per-view reviews on here, we're going to talk about the main event first, because I'm sure that's what a lot of you are here for. And of course, I want to talk about the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, man, that was really cool. And of course, Trish Stratus and Charlotte Flair. And then of course, we're going to talk about the whole Kofi Kingston matchup. But we're going to get to those in a minute, because right now with the main event, I wasn't able to see it once again because the network started screwing up again. But basically, Seth Rollins, he countered pretty much everything that Brock had. Brock was able to get some offense in. He threw him into that the ring post, that LED thing that's outside the ring. Seth Rollins, he hit a cool frog splash from the top rope, landing on Brock Lesnar, throwing him through the table. And I thought it was cool how Brock Lesnar went for the suplex, but Seth Rollins landed on his feet and hit him with a curb stomp. And it's funny how Seth Rollins was able to do all of this, even though he just literally got the crap beat out of him like maybe a week ago. To me, it didn't make any sense. Like, he didn't sell the ribs like he should have. I feel like he should have sold those a little bit more. The injuries, it's just crazy. He should not have been able to do all of the stuff that he did in this matchup. But obviously they put the belt back on Seth Rollins. I don't even understand why they took it off of him in the first place. I don't even know what the deal was with that booking decision. Maybe they just don't have enough faith in Seth Rollins and other people on the roster, so they brought Lesnar back. But that's what happened. Seth, he won. What the match was what it was. It wasn't anything too special. It's one of those good written things is over with. Hopefully we can move on to something better. We can probably see Braun or maybe Drew McIntyre in the title picture. We need some new people in the Universal title picture, and I think Drew McIntyre should be the next guy. Anyways, of course, at the beginning of the show, we had Becky Lynch versus Natalya, and I know I didn't mention their names at first because I'm still a bit riled up because of how the network was acting up. And I will talk more about my future plans, with the WWE pay-per-views once I'm done talking about all these matches. But yeah, the first match though, of course, was Becky Lynch versus Natalya for the Raw Women's title. The match was okay. It wasn't anything too special to me. They told a decent story with they basically try to come up with clever ways to weaken their opponents, body part that they use their submission moves for, their finishers, and we saw Becky Lynch do the sharpshooter, and since this pay-per-view is in Toronto, Canada, you knew that was going to get a negative reaction from the fans. But it's kind of crazy because the fans were a bit wishy-washy during this show. They really were, the WWE fans more specifically. It's like 1 minute it's crazy because you would think they would be cheering for Natalya, but they were actually cheering for Becky Lynch. So that is what it is, I guess. But Becky got the win, and I didn't see Becky losing this matchup, Natalya, she put Becky over, and that's kind of what legends do, So, it was alright. But then, of course, we got Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler, and this match was exactly how you do. It was the right way of how you do a Goldberg matchup. Goldberg best matchups, and what made him intriguing as a character was because they were short and they were intense matchups, and you made Goldberg look like a beast. And that's kind of what they did with this match with Dolph Ziggler. And it was funny, Dolph Ziggler, he super kicked Goldberg at the beginning of the match, and he hit him with another super kick. But then out of nowhere, Goldberg hits him with a spear. And, from there, Goldberg goes for the jackhammer. It was 1, 2, 3. But the funny moments of this was after the match when Dolph Ziggler, he kept taunting Goldberg. He kept grabbing the microphone after Goldberg hit him with another spear. So, that was really funny right there. And it was just a way for Goldberg to redeem himself from the Saudi Arabia show. I had no problem with how this match ended because Dolph Ziggler's role in the WWE is quite an interesting one. I think he's really there to help put over some of the guys that's gonna be still there, because I think he has maybe a few years left, but right now I think that's his role, is trying to help get some of these people over. Goldberg definitely needed to erase what happened in that previous, Saudi Arabia match with The Undertaker. So it was fine. It was totally fine with me. Of course, we had Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair, and my goodness, you guys, that match was, in my opinion, out of all the women's matches on this pay-per-view, Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair was definitely the best one. These two told an amazing story. We saw a lot of heart from Trish Stratus. We saw her hit some of her best moves, and of course, Charlotte did such an excellent job as a heel in this matchup, by mocking Trish Stratus and kicking her in the face and getting that fan support behind her, and it was just really good. The crowd was getting a little quiet in certain moments of this matchup, so you could really hear what Charlotte was saying. And I really like that. Charlotte's just the perfect heel. I don't ever think she should be a babyface. She just has every reason. She has everything you want in a female heel. Not even just a female heel, but a heel wrestler in general. And we thought Trish was gonna come back and win. She tried to go for a chick kick, but she missed it. Charlotte hit the big boots to the skull, and then went for that figure 8 leg lock to get the win. But I thought it was really cool how in the match Trish Stratus was able to do the figure 8 leg lock on Charlotte Flair. So that was a really good moment, and the right person won. Charlotte won. Trish Stratus put her over. That's kind of what the old legends do. That's what you do. The older wrestler, the more experienced wrestler, they put over the one that's going to be still there for the next few years, the next couple of years. And that's what you do. But a really cool thing was Charlotte let Trish Stratus have the ring to herself after the matchup. And, Trish was able to, thank the fans with her signature taunt that she does when she comes to the ring. It was a proper send off. If this is Trish Stratus' last matchup, I'm totally okay with that. I'm totally, okay with that. And so now I wanted to talk about that Ricochet and AJ Styles matchup. Man, it was so cool how Ricochet was able to come out there and he looked like Nightwing. I actually tweeted a picture on my Twitter and stuff about that, and I really liked that, man. That was so cool how he came out with that. And if you guys saw my NXT TakeOver review, or if you watched NXT TakeOver from last night, Johnny Gargano had a Wolverine X-Men outfit on. So Ricochet was like, okay, I can top you with that, Johnny Gargano. And he did. And this matchup was really, really great. I enjoyed it. I won't even go over all the cool things in this matchup because it's one of the things you need to see for yourself if you can get the WWE Network to work for you. But AJ Styles, he did get the win, and I'm curious to see where Ricochet goes from here. What are they gonna do with Ricochet? Is this the end of his feud with AJ Styles? I don't know. We'll see. But AJ Styles and the OC, they definitely, bring some legitimacy to those, to the U.S. title and the tag team titles. So that was neat. Of course, I gotta talk about the Fiend. Oh my God, y'all, the Fiend. This character right here. The entrance was epic. The entrance music, the new entrance music that they have of Bray Wyatt's Fiend character is so cool. It's like a remix. It's like a rock remix version of his original theme song, but it's got a female voice and it's got this really cool like rock beat, man. It's just so badass. I'm telling you, man, this Fiend character is probably gonna be one of the coolest things on WWE TV going forward. And I pray that they can book this character, book Bray Wyatt in such a good way. And if you ask me, I think Bray Wyatt should go straight after Seth. Maybe he might feud with Ricochet. I can see the Fiend feuding with Ricochet, and then of course eventually you have him feud with Seth Rollins or the Universal Champion, and so far we just seen him on Raw, but the Fiend character has appeared on SmackDown, so there's so many good ways you could book this character. And it was cool because, Finn Balor, he tried to get some offense in this matchup. And before I even go more in depth into what happened in this matchup, we didn't see the Demon King character. One would thought that we would have saw the Demon King Finn Balor. Now we may eventually see that character versus Bray Wyatt again. We may see them two in the ring. And if they do another matchup whenever Finn Balor comes back, I'm okay with that. But Finn Balor, he tried to get some offense in the matchup. He tried to go for the coup de grace, but which is that little moon stomp or like little double stomp move that he does on his opponents. But the Fiend was able to counter, and he hit him with the mandible claw, Mick Foley Mankind classic. And then he was able to make him he was able to choke him out, and then they basically did the pin motion where the ref counted 1, 2, 3. And then as soon as the match was over, the lights blinked, and then it was just him, in this really cool, it was just awesome. And then the lights went out again, and then they showed him at the ramp, and then they showed him looking back at the ring or at the camera at us. And it's kind of like what the Undertaker would do on his way out of on his way to the back. And this Fiend character is gonna be a game changer, and I hope 2K Games have him in the game, have him in WWE 2K20. There's no excuse why this character cannot be in WWE 2K20. And they better not make him as no DLC, man. That'll be so stupid if they make us pay for this character when I'm sure they've had time to animate him in the game. Really, all you have to do is just create the mask, because he's really just wearing a mask, so they can I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't have the Fiend in WWE 2K20. And of course, you know, they had Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. The match was alright. Kofi Kingston, he tried to do this little springboard move, but Randy Orton threw him off of there into the barricade. And of course, Randy Orton, he had assaulted Kofi Kingston in front of his family, which drove Kofi Kingston to a furious rage by making him beat him with the kendo sticks and everything. And we saw the vicious side of Kofi Kingston, which is really good to see. So that match ended in the DQ. They're definitely going to probably fight again, maybe at Hell in a Cell. I think they might fight at Hell in a Cell, Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston. The match was okay. I wasn't as interested in seeing these two feud, but they did the best they could, you know. And then they had Bayley versus Amber Moon, and I would say this was the match that I definitely did not like. Out of all of the women matches that we had, I did not like this matchup. These two, they just don't have that chemistry like they should, you know, in terms of matching excitement. You know, the fans don't even look like they were too much into it, and this match was way too long. I wish this match was a little bit shorter. You know, I hate that Amber Moon didn't win, but at the same time, I just don't think that this time. I don't think that this is the way Amber Moon wins the championship. I hate that it didn't happen, but hopefully we'll see Sasha Banks back very, very soon, so we can see her feud with Bayley or something, man, because we need something new when it comes to that SmackDown Women's title. I just don't know about Bayley as champion. She's good, I guess, for the fans and all that, but as a champion, you know, she needs somebody who can really bring that match intensity up. And of course, we had Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. You know, this match had a very interesting build up to it. And of course, during the match, Shane McMahon had Elias as a special enforcer for this matchup, which, you know, it ended up backfiring on, you know, Shane in the matchup or whatever. And so Kevin Owens was able to get a low blow on Shane, and he hit him with the Stone Cold Stunner and got the win. You know, the match was okay. You know, it wasn't necessarily anything to brag about either. But yeah, you know, and another thing that I saw though on Twitter was, you know, AEW, they had made their little tweets during the pay-per-view, and of course you're gonna have some fans going there saying that SummerSlam was trash. And honestly, you guys, as wrestling fans, we gotta stop doing that, because SummerSlam, while it was not a perfect show, while it was not pay-per-view of the year, it was still a pretty darn good show. As I've said earlier in this review, you know, it was a lot better than some of their previous pay-per-views. So, you know, we can't be delusional. We gotta give respect where it's due, and WWE did a good job. They established a lot of people. You know, we saw Trish maybe have her last match, who knows, but I thought the show was good. The only problem I had, like I said, was the WWE Network, which leads me to my last point of this review. You might well say this is episode 21 of Beyond Wrestling, but my network subscription, it expires in September, the first week, and if they do not improve this, I'm done. I'm not going to waste money. I'm not going to ask for money to even try to pay for this app anymore, because out of all of the, you know, apps that I use, this one gives me the most problems, and it's just ridiculous, and I'm not going to bother with it. You know, you can't enjoy the pay-per-views, you can't enjoy anything, you know, with the network constantly buffering, even with good internet. So, you know, I'm through with it. If they don't fix it, if they don't improve it, I'm done. You know, and that's the only really negative thing that I have coming out of this pay-per-view, was the problems with the WWE Network, and this has been ongoing. So but yeah, that's my final stance on all of this. Thank you all for listening, if you're still here. But we had a lot of things to go over, and of course, I wanted to talk about what's going to happen going forward in the WWE, and all in the same video. So I'm curious to know what you guys think in the comment section. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I'm gonna be hitting you guys with a couple of videos during the week. We're gonna try to conquer this YouTube algorithm and grow this channel. So hang in there, you guys. I hope y'all have a blessed one and be safe out there and look out for each other. I will catch you all in the next video. See you next time.